What up, y'all? My name is Jade Fox. This is the Madeyoulooks channel, and today I'm gonna be doing a video that's a little different. I'm coming to you in I literally rolled out of bed, came to the studio. Y'all send me a lot of comments about how this channel helps you in a lot of ways, and I thoroughly appreciate y'all for that. But I also get comments from people saying that they're experiencing different roadblocks, different things in their lives that make them feel like they can't fully dress how they want, or they can't fully express themselves in the ways that they want to. Whether that be, I actually have a very eccentric style, but I always tone it down because I don't want people to say anything, or I don't want my friends to make fun of me, or I want to present more feminine, or I want to present more masculine, or I want to present more androgynous, or I just want to completely change my style 100%, but I'm having an issue finding the confidence to actually be out in public in the style that I actually want to have. I have compiled a list of tips of things that I think will help you be able to just be, you know what I mean? Because really at the end of the day, that's all we're asking for, is just to exist in ways that, just exist, period. People are so obsessed with other people that it's no matter how you dressed, regardless of where you fell on the spectrum of eccentric to subtle versus andro to cis, like it doesn't really matter where you fall, people will have something to say. I have a few tips, some of which I've used in the past, some of which are new that I think will be helpful. Let's go ahead and get started. So regardless of whatever changes you want to make, I think that wearing all black within that style is a way to ease you into it. The thing about black is that if you're wearing all black, you can wear things that are different. You can wear things that are even eccentric, but because everything you're wearing is black, everything feels a little bit toned down. It feels a little bit muted. And I think that this is a good way to be able to get off the outfits that you want to get off, or be able to look how you want to look, but without attracting too much attention to you. You gotta ease yourself into it, you know what I mean? Like, just to show up one day looking completely different and then expect to not have any anxiety around that. Like, that's a lot, because you're essentially reintroducing yourself to everyone who's around you. And so I think that doing things like wearing all black or wearing all one color while incorporating those different pieces from the style that you want to achieve is a good way to be able to do that look without feeling too much anxiety about it. The second tip is the easiest, I think, to be able to do, and that is to try out accessories within the style that you want before going off and getting an entire new look. I think accessories are a really good entry point to figuring out how you want to carve out the rest, of your aesthetic. I think if you want to present more masculine, for example, I think things like chunky jewelry, things that don't have charms, like chain links, studs, earrings, little huggies, little hoops, that goddamn cross dangly earring. If you want to do that, you can do that too. There's so many ways to accessorize, and the thing about accessories is that they're pretty genderless in general. And so depending on how you want it to style them up, you can make something that you already have that may feel masculine and style it into something that is feminine. It just takes a little bit of practice, but you got it. I believe in you. Next tip would be to go to safe spaces first. Going in a dress when you've never worn a dress into work for the first time can be a lot. I'm gonna encourage you to do it personally. I'm full on jump straight into the deep end, and I can't even swim. So that lets you know where I'm at. So I think you should always just go for it. But I understand anxiety is a thing, mental health is a thing. We gotta ease into these things. And so that's why I say, instead of going to work for the first time in a dress, maybe go to a bar for the first time in the dress. Walk your dog outside in. There are ways to get yourself to feel more comfortable just being in public, looking how you wanna look, that don't feel so public. For me, mine was the gay club. Honestly, if I didn't have my college experience and going to the bars and going to the gay clubs, 579, Mansion, whatever other little gay parties that were going on, those were the spaces where I created my first masculine looks, were for the club, because I knew that was something that would be celebrated there. I knew that would be something that other people would also be doing. And so it didn't feel like such a thing for me. Because there are just certain spaces where it's almost like you walk in and somebody's going to say something, and then there are spaces where you walk in and you're celebrating. I think that you should go to those spaces first and be around those people who will celebrate you first, regardless of how you look, than going into a space like work, which has like different layers of, stressors, like a dress code or just the fact that they're coworkers. And so, there's that weird dynamic of like, we're not friends necessarily, but also I'm with you every day. And so it's like, even though I shouldn't care about what you have to say, I might, and so that's why I said go to safe spaces first, because I think you'll just be able to be more confident and have a better time there. This next one is whatever, I'm gonna just say it. Always remember that no one cares. And when I say that, I know how that can seem kind of like flippant, but like literally no one gives a shit. It's kind of like the pimple that's on your left cheek. Like to you, it's glaringly obvious. Everyone's looking at this giant peppercini shaped like pimple on the side of your face. Like I know that it feels that way, but at the end of the day, no one knows. You're wearing a mask, girl, so no one can even see it. Getting out of your head and realizing that like in the bigger picture, your outfit is just an outfit. And it's not something that is going to ruin anyone's day. It's not something that's going to not even really cause much thought or conversation. Not to say your outfits are trash, but just to say that people have seen a lot. And so whatever you got to put on is probably not worth all the attention that you think it is. I understand how this sounds like I'm saying your outfits are trash and no one's paying attention to them. That's not what I'm trying to say though. I'm just trying to say that people are less concerned about you than you think they are. And use that to your advantage and do what you want, because the pressure that you think is there isn't. And my last tip is going to be, and I've echoed this in the past about, if you want to look masculine, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to go straight to the men's section and buy a bunch of neckties and like cufflinks and brown boots. Like I'm not saying that that's what you got to do. And to be feminine doesn't mean that you need to go out and buy a dress and some bangles. A lot of this is styling. A lot of this is figuring out what looks good on you and what looks good for you. I'd also say that it doesn't always need to be physical either. Masculine and feminine energy or regal energy, even like safe energy or warm energy. And I would even say that for me, my style is pretty in the middle. I would say, I feel like I have like an elevated tomboy style. That's what I would say I have. And I feel like my personality matches that. Like I'm not too feminine, I'm not super masculine in my personality. I just did this. So, but I'm also not super masculine in my personality either. And so that's why I think that like a lot of these feminine and masculine, whatever changes you want to have to your style, a lot of those can also be reflected mentally and emotionally and through energy as well. And so oftentimes you don't even need to do the most with your outward appearance. Like I know feminine people who do not dress that way at all. But if you were to ask me like, hey, describe this person in 5 words, feminine would be one of those words that I would use. And so oftentimes you don't need to even, I understand like having the physical kind of match the mental space, having the physical match where you're at emotionally. I think that I understand what that does because I do that. But I'm saying that if you're in the early stages, say you don't even have the money to buy clothes or you're just not in a position to get clothes. Like there are other things that you can do to embody those changes that you want to make when it comes to how you identify, when it comes to your self-expression. A lot of that can happen inward, and maybe even it should happen inward first than, going straight to the physical. Just remember that at the end of the day, it's just clothes. They're just clothes. And I think you can interpret that in whatever way you want and whatever way makes you feel good, but they're just clothes. And I think that if someone tries to tell you that it's not and that it's more and they have an issue with it, you can tell them it's just clothes. Anyone that has like a very visceral reaction to you or like a very dogmatic response to the way that you dress, you can tell them it's just clothes. Because that's the truth. Yeah, I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that if you find yourself in this spot, you use a couple of these tips, because at the end of the day, I love getting the messages from y'all. I love getting the messages from y'all about how much better you're feeling about your style, or how you tried something different, or you tried something back in the day that you didn't think worked for you and you tried it again and it worked for you. Like I love love these messages that y'all send me, because this is deep. But like, low-key, when y'all send me messages, these were messages that I wish I could have sent to somebody back when I was younger and I was trying to figure shit out. And so literally seeing y'all have some of the same issues that I had and knowing that I helped play a small part into the solution, it makes me feel really, really good. And it just instills my faith in this channel. Not saying that I never don't have faith in this channel, but you know what I mean. We've been at this for a year now. And so I just want to make sure that I'm always giving you something that's fresh. I want to make sure that I'm giving you something that's actually helpful. I don't want to be just noise in your life. But that is it for me. Thank y'all for watching. And do not forget, wear what you want, wear what you like, wear it out. See you soon. Bye.